Hey everybody, I hope you are doing well. I'm Afefe with Touch by Tarot, doing a quick check-in with you all today. I'm sure, in the wake of this latest indictment of Donald Trump, looking at the news this morning and, catching up on what's happening, him going on Truth Social and ratcheting up again his violence, calling for violence. Now he's said, if you come for me, I'm coming for you. I'm also thinking about the latest thing now where we've got Ron DeSantis saying, if he's elected president, the first thing he's going to do is get out here and start slitting some throats of bureaucrats in D.C. Never mind, public servants, our defense, our military, our treasury people, like all of the people who, when he says this and he's putting out these blanket statements, he's going to go, we're going to start slitting throats. Just the vernacular, just the, this culture of violence that is just mushrooming. I want to go to Spirit this morning, you all, and just see from our guides, from that perspective, how do we begin or how do we continue to counter that? It's growing. It is not going anywhere. Thankfully, we have not seen sort of any public outcry. Much of what we're getting from the media is in terms of polling. I think that, the whole idea, 69%, I think is the latest thing I saw on Republicans who still believe that the election was stolen, that what Donald Trump is saying is the absolute truth and they stand behind him no matter what. DeSantis is, with his cagey, decrepit self, is being really careful and just now beginning to turn the corner in terms of finding ways to say, he said, well, the election is what it is, but he's also, that's his sort of backhanded way, I think, of acknowledging the reality that the election was not stolen, although he understands he cannot come out and say that directly without, risking the ire of these, Republican stalwarts, okay? But the violent aspect is what's really got me going, you all. Like, this is beyond the slitting throats. You come from me, I'll come from you. Like, this is straight up beyond anything that makes sense in terms of, at this level, we're talking about presidential candidates, people who, the reality of who Trump is aside, and the reality even of what a lot of DeSantis believers, earlier this year, those who were throwing goo-gobs of money, millions behind him. I think the reality of the persona that is given to the American people and the language that is being used to actually just put it out there, the nastier, the more vile, the more violent, that is what's going to ping people and get people to the polls. Like, Spirit, Page of Wands at the bottom of the deck. A lot of this is about bluster. A lot of this is about trying to decide how they can turn the tide of sentiment, people's emotions. If you get people riled up, it's not about policies. It's not about platforms. It's not about the economy. It's not about the things that really matter, issues that people want to hear about. It's the Page of Wands. It's about bluster. It's about, I want to get out here on this popularity gravy train. We've got the Queen of Wands who shows up. This is how we counter it. That was my question going to Spirit. Queen of Wands, look, I love this deck. See, she's there standing in front of the weight bench. It is incumbent upon us, you all, to meet this culture of violence with a different culture of power. There's a difference between power and violence. And I think that's what Spirit is saying to us right now. With the Knight of Wands, look at all this fiery energy that's coming in relation to this, you all. With the Queen of Wands, the Page of Wands, and now we've got the Knight of Wands. It's really important for us to meet this culture of violence head on, but not, not eye for an eye, but more about relating to our spiritual power, understanding that there are greater forces at play that we can tap into and continue to really direct our collective energy to tamp down this notion that our only way out is to have leaders who clearly thrive on stirring people up. We have the devil. I'm not surprised. Are you? You know, this is really about preying on people's fears. A lot of what people like DeSantis and Trump are doing has to do with, you know, we've all heard about the replacement theory. It's this notion that you stir people up by believing if you don't get on board with me, you're going to be erased. You're going to be replaced by all of these people who want the America that you feel belongs to you. It is the devil. It is the temptation. It is the lie. It is the big lie. And it feeds into fears. That is how in tarot, that is how the devil gets its grasp on you, on people, to behave in a certain way, to believe certain things, to continue to attach themselves to a belief system that clearly is not what is in the best interests or the beliefs of the majority of people in America. We have the Six of Cups because there's this promise that they're making of, you know, returning to an America of old that none of us wants to return to. The Six of Cups is Spirit for us. It is saying, Spirit is saying, remember who you really are. Keeping, you know, looking at your reflection and recognizing that what is being put out there, this culture of violence, is not an accurate reflection of who we are and how we operate. And we have the Four of Pentacles. It's greed. You know, it's understanding that we cannot afford to sit back and allow those who have a greed and a thirst for distorting who we fundamentally are as a people. This will not do. And Spirit is saying, we can't tolerate this. We have the Page of Swords. We have to start a different dialect. And I love this image, perfect image, because he's flying a kite with that pirate symbol, right? It's understanding that these are words. Words have power. And thoughts become things. And we are being instructed, you know, and cautioned by Spirit to say, listen, be aware of the words that we continue to use with the Sun, life affirming. For everything, you know, slitting throats, no, we will suture the throats. We will put a balm on the throats. You know, we will put a balm on the people of this country who are hurting, on those who are afraid. We have to continue. It's not so much just about taking the high road, but it's about stopping the madness. We have the Death card. We are on the verge of a rebirth as a democracy, you all. And it's going to take work. We got to roll up our sleeves and we got to be prepared to really fight fire with fire, but our fire is a spiritual fire. It is a excuse me, it is a fire of what is righteous and what is just and what is the fire of love. You know, that's what I'm seeing, like a heart on fire. She has that heart in the middle of her, you know, on her shirt there, right? We are still in Leo season. She, you know, it's understanding that we will prevail. We absolutely will prevail. And to counter this culture of violence that is being promulgated, we have to be very smart. Queen of Swords, very decisive. And notice it's coming also with feminine energy. The divine feminine energy is going to be the tail of the tape between now and the end of 2024 and beyond. This really is about having women and the divine feminine, and that's not discounting men by any means. It's about saying the feminine aspect of our development, of our progress, of our survival as a people, as a democracy. And we have the Eight of Wands coming back at that fiery energy that we were getting. You all, Spirit is saying that we can counter, and we'll have to continue to counter this culture of violence that is being spread by political leaders. Use that word with quotes. By having our own narrative, by evolving and moving ahead in our own, you know, instead of just being reactionary towards some of these just absolutely heinous remarks that are being made. And they believe it. It's not just speech. This is, in fact, their character. We know this to be true about both DeSantis and Donald Trump. They are, you know, these are extremely violent in their character, in their thoughts, in their approach, in their beliefs about what America stands for and what the American people stand for, they mean what they're saying. So Spirit is saying our way to counter that is to mean what we say. And we must understand that despite our differences, we are stronger together. That from that divine feminine aspect, we deserve a more righteous, loving, supportive country. And we can be that to one another and apply that pressure to our political system. It is vital, you all. So the more they double down in their rhetoric, the more we must double down and evolve even in our rhetoric of equality, fairness, love, support for one another, a belief in a larger dream, that what binds us and our common values are way greater than what separates us. Okay? That's it. That's my speech. I hope you enjoyed the spread today. Have a great weekend. I'll talk to you real soon. Bye.